are these podcasts? WATP.
I talked about this on the previous episode of Who Are These Podcasts, that Anthony put out a tweet linking to Scorch's live stream and then chatted in the chat with Scorch and said, hey man, hope you're doing well. Something like that. And Scorch was like, that's not Anthony Cumia. I'm like, oh, maybe it is. So then he did find out that it was Anthony and that Anthony was the one who was promoting Scorch. And Anthony was really cool about it too. He's like, guys, Scorch is a great guy. Go support him. Check out his show. So nothing nefarious involved in it. So Scorch decided to put out a stream just for Anthony to hear. I don't know why this right here encapsulates Scorch so well. It's everything you can think about. He's in a motorhome in a chair that was built in the 60s or 70s, I would say. Like a pleather chair.
Yeah, the previous owner died on, probably.
You would stick to that if any of your skin was exposed. It would probably pull your skin off.
And if I were to show you just that clip you just showed us and said, what is this? You would say, well, it's a hostage video. This man is clearly being held against his will and is about to read the demands that are
It's going to open newspaper
requested.
any second now, yeah.
What does Scorch say first?
Not his hero just reached out to him, supporting him, and now he's going to say something nice in return.
All right, let's see.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It is Scorch. And
Yeah, we know. He's so used to being on the radio.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, just so you know, this is Scorch. Like, we're looking at it, buddy.
That was bad company, and
Yeah, right. We know.
I want to address this after all these years. I want to address a special video to Anthony Cumia. Anthony, I heard perhaps the other day you met.
All right, we're already off to a great start. Get your thoughts together before you start this. Like, I want to address a special video to Anthony Cumia. Wait, you're addressing a video or you're recording a video to Anthony Cumia?
I just want to. I might not.
But he's it's almost like he's addressing another video that he did.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not. This is the video.
It has the vibe of those wrestling promos. But
Yes.
they're like, we gotta do this again.
Right.
Special video to Anthony Cumia. Anthony, I heard perhaps the other day you mentioned either Scorch's PFG TV or Dive Bar Locator, divebarlocator.com. Remember, don't drink and drive. Subscribe. And
I love every time he says divebarlocator.com, he has to say, don't drink and drive. The tagline is where being a dive bar doesn't mean shit. Not don't drink and drive. That's not a good tagline for an app. But he always says that. He doesn't got the disclaimer. Drink responsibly, everyone, at a dive bar with $5 pitcher night. Okay. That's what everyone does at dive bars. Drink responsibly.
or Dive Bar Locator, divebarlocator.com. Remember, don't drink and drive. Subscribe and pick up the app. I heard you may have mentioned us on your show. And I just really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because if you did do that, there's no question I got a spike in numbers this past week. And if you did do that, that's a classy move. I don't know the motive behind it yet. I would love to.
All right, so I like that he's cautiously optimistic here. He's like, Anthony, good on you. I've heard some things.
I've been betrayed before.
Now you might be maybe goofing on me to my face.
I desperately want to know what his other options were for why he had this bump in views.
Right. Well, the other funny thing, too, is that it was a tweet he put out that linked to this. And he's like, I heard you might have maybe talked about me on your show. I did this weird thing. I researched shit just so I know what I'm talking about before I go. I know, it's crazy. You would understand.
I think he thinks he's like flirting. He's like flirting. Like, I don't know, maybe. Could be you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got a poke on Facebook. Maybe that was from...
classy move. I don't know the motive behind it yet. I would love to find out why. Because you and I have had weird heat, quote unquote, over the years. Everybody, all the O&A people say, oh, you know what, they loved you. But a lot of times it's gone a little too far. At least in my eyes, it's gone a little too far. And we're past that, brother. I'm 62 years old. I think you're a little bit older than that.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah. Wow.
Let's respect. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's respect one another. And let's maybe try some other things. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk. You can probably get a hold of me. There's no way am I going to put my telephone number out for.
Yeah, no one's asking you to.
Yeah. You probably don't have one.
What's he talking about? You can get a hold of me. I like that all of a sudden now they're partnering together.
Uh-huh.
In Scorch's mind,
Yep.
Anthony said something nice about him and sent people over to watch.
If it's him, if it's Anthony.
Right. And now he's going, if you need a co-host on your show, I could possibly make some time certain days of the week for that.
Yeah, if your heart's in the right place, we can go places, man.
Right.
We can make this work.
But the onus is on you to get in touch with me, and I won't tell you how. What a weird way to communicate with someone.
Get in touch with my people,
Yeah.
Mike.
Mike is my people. How do I get in touch with him? No idea. Okay.
Hey, Mike!
Can probably get a hold of me. There's no way am I going to put my telephone number out.
Just like for our van, just like for our motorhome, you'll see it.
For the masses just because of everything that's always gone on. However, if you can get a hold of me, I would love to talk to you because, we have a history. Let's face facts. It started with the Undertaker's coffin and then the Sam Adams Brewery. Remember the Sam Adams Brewery? That's when it really started to come together. And I don't know what happened between...
This is so funny. To put out a video for one person specifically with reminiscing about things they remember, because they worked together in Boston at WAAF. That was their first time that they got to know each other. And then Sam Roberts, who was an intern for Opie and Anthony, went on to take over Opie's slot, was an intern for Scorch in Syracuse. So he came with Scorch stories. Opie and Anthony already had Scorch stories. So that was a big reason why they like to talk about Scorch. And then when Scorch came out with PFG TV, started making videos from bars and stuff. That's when he became part of Jocktober pretty regularly and part of the Opie and Anthony fodder. But so he's literally talking to one person in a medium that is global. This is syndicated globally. And he's like, Anthony, what's up, man? Hey, so do you remember that time that you and I did that thing with WWF and The Undertaker? Which, by the way, that's a funny story. So apparently the WWF had this coffin match, like whoever loses is going into a coffin. It's The Undertaker versus whoever. Mm-hmm. And so the WWF was like, oh, you know what we'll do is we'll prop up these coffins on the side of the ring and Opie and Anthony will lay in them and watch the match from them. And they didn't know that this was a thing that the radio station had set up for them. So they get to the arena and they're told, yeah, you guys are going to be in those coffins right there during this match. And both Opie and Anthony are like, no, we're not. That's ridiculous. We're definitely not doing that. So then Anthony goes, hey, Scorch, you want to hang in a coffin during this match? And Scorch is like, yeah, let's go. He's so excited to lay in this coffin. So that's the coffin story.
Sam Adams Brewery, that's when it really started to come together. And I don't know what happened between the Sam Adams Brewery and this day in history. I really don't know. But I would love to find out. I have no problem burying any hatchet. I think you did a classy move. Yes, did it help? Certainly did. So thank you from everybody and the whole crew from PFG TV. Scorch.
The whole crew.
I know.
Let's bring in the whole crew. Mike. Yeah. When do I get a fucking thank you? I've promoted this dive bar locator more than anyone, but all right, fine. Just thank Anthony.
I'm just glad if he's unconsciously talking to someone, it's finally not Megan.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
At least he's talking directly to somebody else.
I hope Megan shows up on this show again. I'm feeling so bad. She just keeps blowing him off.
everybody and the whole crew from PFG TV, Scorch's PFG TV, and of course, divebarlocator.com. Remember, divebarlocator.com. Don't drink and drive.
Drink and drive.
Anthony Cumia, classy move, brother.
All right, so that's our buddy Scorch.
Can I just add something to this, really?
Please.
I used to program documentaries for a film festival, and when you look at a lot of documentaries, you learn really fast that everyone has a homeless wacko in their hometown, and one person a year will feel compelled to make a documentary about their local hometown thing. So you watch this civilian get involved in the local homeless person's life, thinking they're going to help them or save them. Inevitably, the more they help them, the worse the situation becomes, the more entangled they are, and it never ends well. And no matter how good your heart or intentions are, you always end up wishing you never got involved. Anthony, he just tweeted out, everyone check out this guy's show. And this guy's response is like a hostage negotiation, apology, reunion. It had the couples therapy mixed with like a, it's time for you to stop using drugs. Like it was everything. And it always killed me that Howard wouldn't pay the whack packers. You know, this is why. Because when you get too involved or you give them too much of anything, it doesn't work out. And I hate to beat the same drum, but it shows you why Stuttering John is a whack packer. Because it's the whack packers that can't make that transition from wacky, goofy thing we laugh at.
Butt of the joke,
to employee. Benji could. Lots of people can. John loves to say, no one can go. You always thought of me as an intern. No, just you. And this guy, Scorch, is reminding everyone, you need to keep a distance and don't be too nice. Don't get too involved because their minds can't handle it.
That's interesting that you say that. Have you seen Anthony's response to this yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's what we're going to watch right now. So
Fantastic.
Anthony did watch this, and he's going to respond to our buddy Scorch.
So they're starting a show together, I assume.
Anthony Cumia, classy move, brother.
You're very welcome, Mr. Scorch. Like I said, I like Scorch. I wouldn't wish any ill will toward the guy. He's out there. He's living the dream, man. This is his dream. He's living it. And I only wish him the best. I'll get in touch with him. I'll get in touch with Scorch.
There we go.
Have a conversation with him and stuff. Because, why not? Why not? So let's see what we could do for his app and his PFG TV. Maybe we get him a few gallons of gas for that RV he's going around in. I'm sure it doesn't have. I'm sure it doesn't get many MPG, many miles per gallon. PFG MPG. It doesn't get it because it's like from the 70s, I think. I think this is a 1976 motorhome. But Scorch, I'm in your corner, babe. I'm in your corner, Scorch. And I'll get in touch with you. We will talk. If anyone can clip this and send it to Scorch, do that. I'm in your corner. Yeah, let's do something.
There you have it. Anthony is on board. He is ready to go. So maybe this is the new co-host. But boy, would that piss off Stuttering John. Scorch becomes the co-host of the Anthony Cumia show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Dolphins are the only animal that kill for fun.
That's true.
They'll just take a fish and fuck with it, not for food. I would say in this instance, Anthony's a bit of a dolphin, and he is fucking with this man, knowing that you can't just say that. Like, this is the beginning of the road movie where Scorch and his friends gotta get to WABC in 24 hours in order to bag Marilyn Monroe or something.
Right.
Like, this guy cannot handle what Anthony just said, and Anthony knows that.
Mike, I love you, but Anthony's taking over.
Yeah, right.
Megan, it's over.
Yeah, Megan.
Dumps
I got something
Megan
new.
immediately. This will be interesting. I like Anthony's approach. He's just like, listen, we're on your side. We're on your team. I'll be in touch. We'll figure this out. I can't wait to see where this goes. I hope that those two team up and they create something together. I think it'll be good. Now, you pointed something out to me, producer Chris. Mm-hmm. Someone named Goonie856
Oh, yeah.
posted underneath one of Scorch's videos. He said, I randomly started watching a show on Tubi called Deep Undercover. And on episode 33, Scorch makes his introduction as a gang member for a biker gang, and he's in multiple episodes after. It caught me off guard. I was like, holy shit, it's Scorch! You guys need to check it out. So I did. Nice. And I have the clips. Let's see Scorch in some of his acting work. This is really what he was made for, I think.
Mark will insert himself into a notorious motorcycle gang called the Diablos. An FBI informant, already a member of the club, will make the introduction. The Diablos aren't weekend warrior wannabes. They sell drugs, steal, and use violence to intimidate anyone they choose to.
Don't drink and drive.
And they don't like cops. What could possibly go wrong?
Now, if you're really listening to this, Scorch is one of the gang members, and they're like exchanging money very awkwardly. Yes. I've never seen a drug deal like that. Like, oh, wait, you take this money. No, oh, yeah, I got it. Okay, thanks. But then a cop walks by, and Scorch is giving him the side eye, like, you motherfucker. I'll take you down.
Everything above board here, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Whenever somebody accuses Stuttering John of doing something that's truthful, and he does that huge scrunched face, huh? What? I'm substitute teaching? That's the face that Scorch was just making.
Right. You think he's so he doesn't have a speaking role, and yet he's overacting somehow. Is what he's saying.
Lined.
This is a fun scene right here where Scorch denies a black person from being part of his gang because no minorities shall apply.
This group was beyond ruthless. They don't allow minorities to belong. They don't treat women very well. They have multiple arrests for street violence.
I love the black guy walking to these bikers. The one guy's like, get out of here. Move it along, son.
Lock the doors.
Like it's a diner counter in 1955 in Mississippi. Like, we don't serve your kind here.
They don't treat women very well. Guy's hand is on her shoulder. What's this made of?
This is the notorious biker gang. I don't know why we're laughing so much. I have one more clip because I just thought this was funny. I guess Scorch served some time for manslaughter.
Some of them had served time for manslaughter and were now out.
I love how much you're enjoying this, Chris. watching badass Scorch.
Yeah, I know.
It's the best. It's all he ever wants to do. That's really his calling in life.
There's something very revealing here where when we see him on his own, he seems kind of like a rougher individual. Mm-hmm. But when you see him around actual tough people, he seems very much the opposite. He seems like he's pretending. He seems like he's not a tough guy. And when he's in the bar around bikers and things, they might not accept him as one of their own and see him as kind of a poser.
Yeah, that's well said. That's all I can think of when I'm watching this stuff. And it's like they do mix in some real footage that's actually of this biker gang and stuff. You're like, oh, yeah, those are the real guys who are doing this shit. Oh, yeah, that's Scorch. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I like Scorch. I like watching him. But when he's doing his thing, sometimes I'm like, boy, I wouldn't want to get on his wrong side. I wouldn't want to piss him off. And now I see him next to these guys. I'm like, yeah, you could piss him off. It's fine. He's not going to do anything but pop his collar a little higher.
He wouldn't even throw his toothpick at you.
I was going to say, look out, he's got a toothpick.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it.
How do you think this happened? I mean, did Scorch have an agent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't think he had an agent.
Yeah, I think he's always looking for extra work. He's been involved in wrestling, like I was talking about before, and he's been involved in a lot of things. He's in show business. The business of show.
If you're willing to allow yourself to be a specific type, if you're like, I am tough guy number 4 forever,
right,
you'll get work. Because somebody's always going to need tough guy number 4.
That's true.
Somebody needed it. And there he is. And wherever he was at the time, how many were there that might have a SAG card or be able to work or have any kind of resume? It gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you're like, hello, Mr. Scorch, we need you.
Who are these podcasts?